Welcome to HP Tuner's for Gen 2 Coyote Training Part 2. This training module we're going to be taking a look at our VCM Editor Software Overview, exploring the different features and functions of the VCM Editor software so we can begin our training course and have a good place of reference to be able to go through all the future training modules. Without further wait, let's jump in so we can check this out. Okay, so let's get started. We're going to be taking a look at doing a software overview using our VCM Editor software. VCM Editor software is what we're going to use for doing the reading and writing process to our engine control modules. It allows us to flash the file, read the file, or edit the calibration file. So this software is going to be used doing the tuning portion of our calibration process. The other portion of the software we're going to be accessing is our VCM scanner software. That's where we can go and do data logging, we can do data capture, and then we can play it back and do data analysis. And by looking at the data and being able to analyze it, we can then figure out what we need to change in our calibration file so we can get the car sorted out and actually dial in the calibration so everything's going to work in unison for the aftermarket parts that we've installed. So the VCM Editor software is where we make our changes, we do the flashing to the vehicle, or we read the file out of the engine control module. Now, the best way to go about doing an overview here is opening up a calibration file so we can review the software with the calibration file present. We can see up here at the top, because I don't have a calibration file open right now, a lot of the icons are going to be grayed out. I can't click on them, can't really do a proper tutorial without having a file open. This is going to lead us into jumping in here at the very first portion of the software, going here to Open File. An open file, this is where we want to open up a calibration file. Now, I've already provided a few sample calibration files for you to open and take a look at here just to get things started. If we go here into the Open File icon and click on it, we're now able to jump into the desktop. Now, I have saved our Gen 2 Coyote course folder to my desktop. You should have already downloaded that course folder onto your laptop from the course library. It's going to be the very first icon that you will find. It's going to say click the download right on it. You'll click on it, be able to download it, and you'll be able to open it up, unzip it, open it up, and be able to jump into the folder that we're going to be looking at right now. So I'm going to go move down here into my option HP Tuner's Gen 2 Coyote course folder right here. So this is what you want to open up. Double click here. And then we're going to move into our Mustang example files. Let's click on this folder here. And I have a 2017 Mustang folder available with several different files that we can open up and take a look at. Now, I will be adding some more files, 2015, 2016 model years, to give you some reference points for stock equivalent files. So you have those in your folder so that if you need to do a compare feature, trying to compare your vehicle that may have been tuned already to a stock vehicle, you can find and illustrate the differences. We're going to be covering and talking about the comparison feature in the software later, but for right now, let's just click in our folder here and let's grab the first option, 2017 Mustang GT, and we'll click open, and it's going to allow that file to open up in the software. Now, if we take a look at the very top of the software, this is going to tell us the location that the file that we're working with is found in. So, for example, here, the structure is going to be Home Desktop HP Tuners Gen 2 Coyote. So that's the folder. Mustang example files. That's the subfolder. 2017 Mustang GT, that's the additional subfolder, and then the file is going to be 2017 Mustang GT. This is the file name that we're opening up and we're working with. It's important to pay attention up here to the file name, because if you resave the file as a new name, it'll display that there, and then if you're saving on top of that file, you know which file you're actually saving to. So I always like to reference where the file is found, making sure it's in the correct location, and then the actual file name is exactly the file that I think I am working with. Okay, so now that we have our file open here, let's take a look at some of the most basic things at the very top of the software. If we're looking at the top, we see File, Edit, Compare, Flash Tools, Window, and Help. In here, we'll find that if we click on this, this has a drop-down menu that we can access a couple different things in each category. Now, one thing I want to point out is that we have some redundancy in the software, meaning if we look here, we have File Open, Close, so that opens or closes a calibration file. Then we have Save. If we look here, we have these first three icons. These are grouped or paired to this drop-down menu. So I can find the Open icon to open up a file. I have a Closed icon to close the file and exit out of it. And then I have a Save function, which is going to allow me to save if I'm making changes along the way. Allows me to save to the file name that I have open here.
Now, these are probably the easiest way to access that information if you need to do it rather than going to the dropdown. There are some specific situations where we might want to go into the dropdown, and that's going to be if we want to use a Save As feature. We'll talk about this in other training modules, but the Save As allows you to save the file as a new name and not overwrite any other files that you might find in your folder. This is important when you're doing your calibration process because you'll make mistakes, and that's fine. You want to be able to go and undo your mistake. Now, there isn't any history or stored calibration files that you can reference back in HB Tuners. You're responsible for saving the files in the proper file saving structures. So by going and using the Save As, you can constantly make new file names in the same folder and being able to go backwards or forwards in your calibration process. If you're saving, let's say, every 5 or 10 minutes during a task that you're trying to perform and calibrate, this allows you to...
Thanks for checking out our teaser clip. If you want to see the rest of this video and more than 500 hours of current EFI training we have to offer, make sure you click right here. If you want to go and check out more teaser clips from this training course, click here, and you don't want to miss any of the videos we're going to be releasing on this channel, so make sure you subscribe and click here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.